Breaking news! Roquan Smith just lit the match, and it wasn't subtle. With the entire football world watching, he called out the Buffalo Bills ahead of the Baltimore Ravens 2025 season opener. This isn't just a Week 1 matchup on Sunday Night Football. This is a revenge mission. And Ravens fans, if you thought last year's playoff loss hurt, buckle up, because Roquan is ready to turn the page with fire. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens!" Now let's dive in. The full Ravens 2025 schedule is out, and while fans were still circling dates, plotting travel plans, and dreaming about another AFC championship run, Roquan Smith went ahead and made sure Week 1 is can't-miss television. Speaking with Rich Eisen on NFL Network, Roquan didn't mince words about the season opener in Buffalo. "Revenge is best served as a cold dish," he said. "The message? The Ravens haven't forgotten. They've been simmering all offseason after that bitter playoff exit, and it's personal." Smith said it plainly. Misery has fueled him. That divisional round loss didn't just sting. It ignited something. Now, with Sunday Night Football looming, Smith is eager to unleash it on the Bills. That's bulletin board material. And it's no accident the NFL lined this one up to open the season. This is a statement game. But this isn't just about talk. There's a broader narrative swirling around Baltimore this year. The stakes aren't just playoff redemption. It's existential for the Ravens. After multiple seasons of early exits, questions are bubbling up loudly. Can they finish the job? Is this the year Lamar finally leads this team to the Super Bowl? And is John Harbaugh still the guy to guide them there? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. All the pieces are in place. Lamar is back. Derrick Henry has been extended. Ronnie Stanley says he's healthy. Roquan Smith is anchoring the defense. Zay Flowers is entering a key year. The core is set, and expectations are sky high. And in a league built on parity, how many chances like this do you really get? The pressure is intense, especially on Harbaugh. With Justin Tucker gone and a new kicker stepping into some big cleats, Harbaugh is now the only constant in every recent postseason disappointment. And whether fair or not, if this team falters again, fans and analysts alike will zero in on him. Owner Steve Bisciotti has been aggressive. Front office, draft strategy, free agency, Baltimore has gone all in. If that doesn't translate into late January football, the fallout could be swift. Week 1 in Buffalo isn't just the first game, it's the first test. Beat the Bills, and suddenly that Super Bowl path looks legitimate. Lose, and the narrative writes itself. Same old Ravens. It's the definition of a lose-lose in the eyes of some critics. Win, and it's just the regular season. Lose, and all the doubts about the postseason come roaring back. And make no mistake, Buffalo will be ready. You don't think Josh Allen and the Bills have heard Roquan's comments? They'll be circling this game just as much. That's what makes it so compelling. Two teams, both desperate for validation, clashing right out of the gate. Then there's the looming discussion around Lamar Jackson. Year 8, still seeking that elusive championship. And while the MVP talk is already beginning to bubble again, so are the tired criticisms. Too many weapons? He's being punished for having a strong roster. Doesn't win in January? Never mind the stats, the leadership, the consistency. For Lamar, every season is make or break in the eyes of his doubters. And that's not changing until he hoists a Lombardi. But the great ones thrive in that pressure. And if Roquan's energy is any indication, this entire locker room is feeding off that urgency. You can feel it. From the top down, they know what's at stake. Let's not forget the significance of Derrick Henry's extension either. 2 years, $30 million. Locked in through 2028. That's not just confidence in the player. That's confidence in the identity of this offense. Smash mouth football. Clock control. Set the tone physically. And if Henry looks anything like he did down the stretch last year, it's going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses. The schedule isn't kind early. After Buffalo, it's a gauntlet. Browns, Lions, Chiefs, Texans, Rams, and then a Week 7 bye, earlier than ideal. It's critical Baltimore doesn't stumble out of the gate. Last year's 0-2 start arguably cost them home field advantage. This time, there's no margin for error. Every win counts, especially with a division as deep as the AFC North. So here we are, Sunday Night Football, national spotlight. Two of the most polarizing quarterbacks in the game. A defensive leader who's already drawn the battle lines, and a franchise with everything to prove. But what do you think, Ravens fans? Are Roquan's comments setting the right tone? Or is this bulletin board fuel that could backfire? And now that we've set the tone, let's stay right in the heat of the fire, because there's no turning back from here. Roquan's words weren't just about passion. They were a declaration. And the more you dig into the layers of this matchup and this moment for the Ravens, the more it feels like something seismic is about to happen. Baltimore is staring down a season that may very well redefine this era of Ravens football. You can talk about the stacked roster, the loaded schedule, the pressure-packed expectations, but the underlying tension of it all is simple. Win or reset. Maybe not blow it all up, but make no mistake, if this team doesn't deliver, changes will come. Major ones. Start with the coaching. John Harbaugh has been at the helm for over a decade, a Super Bowl champion, a proven leader. But football is a results business, and for all the stability and structure he's provided, fans have grown restless. They've seen these Ravens dominate regular seasons before. They've seen MVP-level play from Lamar Jackson. They've seen elite defenses, Pro Bowl rosters, and strong starts. But when it all counts in January, heartbreak. The cold reality is that Baltimore hasn't been to the Super Bowl in over a decade, and the core of this roster, one that many consider Super Bowl caliber, is not going to stay together forever. Roquan Smith is right to call this a revenge game, but in the bigger picture, it's more than that. It's a litmus test. Do the Ravens still have that championship DNA? Or is this the end of a window they never fully capitalized on? And then there's Lamar. This man should be celebrated weekly. He's electric, dynamic, elite. But still, somehow, he plays under a microscope that's twice as intense as most. He won MVP honors again, but the discourse around him remains clouded. Is he just a runner? Can he win the big one? The narratives keep shifting. The goalposts keep moving. What's especially frustrating is the inconsistency in how quarterbacks are judged. Josh Allen, no Super Bowl, no MVP, gets praised for grit and leadership. Lamar, criticized for having weapons like Derrick Henry. It's a double standard, plain and simple. And yet, Lamar continues to tune it all out, keeps grinding, keeps leading, keeps showing up. He changed his number to 1 this season, signaling a fresh chapter, a new mentality, a more focused version of the player who's already one of the most dangerous men in the NFL. It's not just about personal legacy anymore. This year, it's about fulfilling a promise to the fans, to the city, to the guys in the locker room who believe in him. Now let's talk about the guy who might just tip the scales, Derrick Henry. The Ravens didn't just bring Henry in for a year to see how it goes. They doubled down with that 2-year, $30 million extension. They see him as a cornerstone piece of this offense, not a temporary fix. His impact on the identity of this team is undeniable. And if you watched him during last year's run, especially that brutal domination against Dallas and the playoff performance against Buffalo, you know he's far from done. This is a Ravens team that's looking to impose its will early and often. Play action with Lamar and Henry in the backfield? Good luck. Add Zay Flowers stretching the field, a healthy Mark Andrews, and an offensive line that's looking nastier than ever, and suddenly, Baltimore's offense looks balanced, explosive, and terrifying. Defensively, you've got Roquan leading a unit that's tired of being overlooked. The loss of safety Darius Washington to an Achilles tear during conditioning stings, no question. But this is a group that's deep and determined. And with Zach Orr entering another year as defensive coordinator, there's real belief that this defense will be even more aggressive, more unpredictable, and more physical. But here's what it all comes back to, that opener. September 7th in Buffalo. If the Ravens go up there and make a statement, it shifts the whole narrative. No more wait until January. No more prove it in the playoffs. It'll be clear from the start, this is a different Ravens team. One that's not just chasing respect. One that's out for blood. So the question now is, are the Ravens truly ready for this moment? Let me know in the comments.